Let the party begin. Yes, yes, oh, you're squishing my head, oh no. For years, the iconic Rachael Ray has wowed millions with her simple and unique 30-minute meals. She will always be remembered as a pioneer who made cooking easy for the masses. Countless people could relate to her, and many enjoyed her fun-to-watch cooking shows. But life hasn't always been kind to her, and she has faced her own battles against loss of family members, baseless allegations, cheating scandals, and numerous criticisms. How can you resist this smile? Join us today as we have a peek behind the curtains and discover the tragedy and heartbreak Rachael experienced from the beginning of her career. Rachael's early life and budding career. Born in the modest town of Glen Falls, New York, on August 25, 1968, Rachael's early life was steeped in a rich blend of Sicilian, French, Scottish, and Welsh heritage. This unique blend didn't only shape her vibrant and engaging personality, but later it became one of the key ingredients in her culinary creations. Her incredible journey into the world of cooking had humble beginnings under the roof of a home where the kitchen was the center of activity. Rachael's mother, Elsa Provenza Scuderi, was a simple restaurant manager, but it was under her watchful eye that a young Rachael began to learn the ins and outs of the kitchen. When she was only 8, Rachael moved to Lake George, New York, with her family. This scenic new town further nurtured her budding culinary passion, and it allowed Elsa to manage several restaurants in New York's Capital District, including a bustling Howard Johnson's restaurant near the lively Gaslight Village amusement park. This setting turned out to be perfect for young Rachael, who found herself surrounded not just by food but also by the vibrant personalities of entertainers and diners who frequented the area. It was here, amidst the clatter of dishes and the chatter of customers, that Rachael's dream of a life in food began to take shape. By her teenage years, Rachael was already familiar with the back end of restaurant life, as she had already spent countless hours in kitchens where her mother worked. For Elsa, this was not just a job, it was a way of connecting with her heritage and her community, and that was something that deeply resonated with Rachael's young, impressionable mind. So, she decided to work part-time at Sutton's Marketplace in Queensbury, New York, but she was doing more than just serving food. She was absorbing every intricate detail about customer service and food preparation. This job also gave her a chance to engage with the community through local commercials, and it was obvious how important this was to Rachael because she often recalled the cider donuts and grilled raisin bread in her television episodes. Rachael did not neglect her education as she graduated from Lake George Junior and Senior High School, but she soon accepted the fact that the conventional academic path was just not for her. Her passion for the culinary arts forced her to make a life-altering decision to drop out of Pace University, where she was pursuing a degree in communication. Rachael realized that her true classroom was the kitchen, and her textbooks were recipes and ingredients. This was a major step, and it completely committed her to follow her heart's desire for culinary success. The lively streets of New York City had been calling out to Rachael for a while, and in 1995, she finally decided to move to the city that never sleeps. With nothing but her culinary passion driving her, she landed her first gig at Macy's Marketplace candy counter, and even here, Rachael's talent, hard work, and determination did not go unnoticed. Soon after, she was offered a promotion to buyer in accessories at Macy's, but Rachael knew that her heart lay in food, not fashion accessories. So, looking to align her career with her passion, she accepted a job at a specialty food store, Agata and Valentina. This job was more in tune with her interests and allowed her to dive deeper into the world of gourmet food. It was here that she honed her skills, learning about the nuances of specialty ingredients, food pairings, and what it takes to run a successful food business. Each day provided her with new learning opportunities, from figuring out the complicated supply chain of exotic ingredients to mastering the art of customer engagement. But the bustling streets and countless opportunities in the big city also exposed her to a darker side of the city. During the late 1990s, just a few years after moving to New York, Rachael experienced some terrifying incidents. She was mugged not once, but twice in a single week. These chilling moments would eventually drive her to leave the Big Apple for good. The first incident occurred in the lobby of her own apartment building in Queens. As she was returning home, unaware of the impending danger, a young assailant followed her into the building. Suddenly, he shoved her face against the door, pressed a gun into her back, and demanded her bag. In a moment of sheer panic, Rachael's quick thinking allowed her to defend herself. She flipped the top off the mace her father had given her for protection, turned around, and started screaming at her attacker. This bold response allowed her to fend off the robber, preventing him from taking her belongings. She managed to save herself, but just for the moment, because the same mugger returned the following week, much more aggressive than before. This time, he confronted Rachael in an alley, where he brutally assaulted her, using his gun to beat her severely. Rachael later described the attack as if the mugger wanted to take her life, a traumatic experience that left her deeply shaken. These violent experiences forced Rachael to make the significant decision to leave the chaos and the threats of the city for the relative safety of upstate New York. She moved back to the Adirondacks, where she took on the role of managing Mr. Brown's Pub at the Sagamore, a prestigious hotel on Lake George. This turned out to be a blessing for her, as the new position allowed her to blend her culinary skills with her knack for hospitality, enhancing the dining experience for guests in a scenic setting. After her successful stint at the pub, Rachael managed to advance her career further by becoming a buyer at Cohen & Lobel, a gourmet market in Albany. Here, she deepened her expertise in selecting high-quality products and ingredients. These early years of Rachael's life laid the foundation for her future success. The small breakthroughs, life lessons, and her hard work eventually paved the way for her rise to fame. In the early 2000s, Rachael introduced a revolutionary idea for preparing delicious meals in under 30 minutes, which completely redefined home cooking. The concept was born as a result of her interactions with customers at a local store, where she realized that most people avoided cooking elaborate meals at home due to a lack of time. This led Rachael to come up with a cooking course where she showcased how anyone could whip up a meal in less time than it takes most people to order takeout. The success of these classes caught the eye of WRGB, the local CBS TV affiliate, who offered her a weekly segment on their newscasts. This was only the beginning, as it exposed Rachael's talents to a national audience on one of America's most watched morning shows. In 2001, Rachael Ray made her television debut on The Today Show, and she instantly won over viewers with her bubbly personality and her easy-to-follow cooking style. Her ability to simplify cooking made her appeal to busy parents, young professionals, and cooking novices alike. Aptly named 30-minute meals, the segment gained popularity overnight. This led to Rachael publishing her first book, which was also titled 30-Minute Meals, and this just further solidified her reputation as a cooking expert. The success of her book was a turning point in Rachael's career because it led to a Food Network contract, where her segment 30-Minute Meals became a staple show for 11 seasons from 2001 to 2012. The show's idea was simple, and that is why it was so impactful, quick, affordable, and delicious meals made it a perfect fit for the fast-paced lives of modern viewers. Rachael's straightforward approach to cooking, combined with her warm and engaging on-screen presence, made the show a hit, earning her a devoted following. But Rachael had more in store for her audience. In 2005, she launched her own magazine, Every Day with Rachael Ray. This publication was an extension of her TV persona and allowed her to reach her audience through another platform. Apart from offering delicious and easy recipes, the magazine also provided lifestyle tips and insight into Rachael's personal life. Her readers just couldn't get enough of their monthly doses of Rachael's cheerful advice and recipes. As her influence in the culinary world grew and she became a household name, her magazine also became a must-read for food enthusiasts and casual cooks. But the most significant milestone in her career was the premiere of her daytime TV talk show, The Rachael Ray Show, on September 18, 2006. Apart from cooking, Rachael used the show to explore a variety of topics, including lifestyle and celebrity interviews. This platform was perfect for her to showcase her versatility beyond the kitchen. On top of this, her recurrent appearances on The Oprah Winfrey Show played a crucial role in boosting the launch of her own show, much like the success story of Dr. Phil. Taped in New York City, her talk show offered a daily dose of her relatable charm and practical advice, making it must-watch daytime television. Rachael's influence on home cooks has been undeniable. She has consistently emphasized that cooking should be easy, enjoyable, and accessible. Her recipes don't call for meticulous measuring but rather encourage a hands-on, creative process in the kitchen. This approach has turned the daunting task of cooking into a more approachable and enjoyable experience for most of her audience, And this is blended amazingly with her personal backstory and cooking philosophy, which has touched the hearts of millions. Rachael attributes her culinary style to the influence of her Sicilian maternal grandfather, Emanuele Scuderi, and her Cajun ancestry. This blend of cultural flavors is evident in her cooking, which often features robust ingredients like fresh herbs, garlic, and chicken stock to boost flavors without complicating the cooking process. Powering through her health struggles. From a very early age, Rachael has suffered from croup, which is a respiratory condition that aggressively attacks the vocal cords, especially in young children. During an interview with People magazine in 2006, she candidly shared that this illness significantly weakened her vocal cords. The repeated bouts of croup during her childhood caused her to face a lifetime of vocal challenges. This did not only leave her with a raspy voice, but they also included episodes where she completely lost her ability to speak. These episodes of voice loss were not only inconvenient but potentially threatening to her thriving career in television, where her voice was her primary tool of trade. To keep these issues in check, Rachael regularly performed special throat exercises and reduced her caffeine intake on the recommendation of the doctors that she consulted in order to maintain her vocal health. Despite these preventative measures, in 2008, Rachael faced a critical health scare that required surgery to fix. During this time, rampant speculation and misinformation circulated about her health, with some media outlets reporting that she was battling throat cancer. These rumors peaked when the National Enquirer published a piece suggesting Rachael needed surgery to remove a cancerous tumor and might undergo radiation treatment. However, the truth was significantly less scary. Rachael required surgery to remove a benign cyst from her vocal cords. Even though it was a serious outpatient procedure, it was not cancer-related in any way. Her spokesperson clarified to the public and her fans that Rachael was otherwise healthy and that the surgery would only briefly interrupt her schedule, requiring just a week-long break for recovery. Following the surgery, Rachael quickly returned to her television commitments, continuing to engage her audience with her energetic on-screen presence. This episode highlighted the intense scrutiny public figures often face regarding their personal health and the challenges of navigating privacy and public speculation. Throughout her career, Rachael Ray's health struggles with her vocal cords have significantly impacted both her professional engagements and her personal life. Her openness about these challenges has not only shed light on the difficulties of managing chronic health issues but also shown the world her resilience and how dedicated she is to her craft. Family tragedies and feuds. Rachael Ray has been pretty open about her family and has often spoken about how much they mean to her. She holds her mother in the highest regard because Ilsa has been the most influential in her life and career. Rachael has said that her mother is not only her favorite cook but also her most cherished person. This deep bond between mother and daughter was clear as daylight when Ilsa accompanied her during her first appearance on The Today Show, which was a pivotal moment in Rachael's career. It was comforting for her to have her mother by her side when Rachael was truly exposed to the national audience and was catapulted into the spotlight, eventually leading to her connection with the Food Network. But beneath this warm public persona, Rachael has had her share of family tragedies and disputes which have tested the bonds between her and her family and affected her public image as well. One of the most heart-wrenching incidents occurred in November 2013, involving Rachael's aunt Geraldine Dominica Scuderi. Her aunt, who was 77 years old at the time, tragically passed away in circumstances that would lead to a painful family feud. She was watching over Rachael's mother's house during a cold spell in upstate New York. On a particularly freezing day, she stepped outside to feed the birds but accidentally locked herself out. Desperate to get back inside, she attempted to break a window but collapsed from the cold and was not discovered until the next day. The aftermath of this tragedy sparked an intense family dispute, particularly with Rachael's cousin, who publicly blamed Rachael for her aunt's death. Rachael was accused of being negligent in caring for Geraldine. In an interview, Rachael's cousin, Gina Mesnick, revealed that her mother, Geraldine, was paid $300 a week to look after the house but was never given a key. Gina also highlighted the fact that once breaking a window to get in did not work, her mother also tried to enter the house through the garage door via keypad, but that too had been disconnected without informing her of it. These accusations were fueled by further allegations that Geraldine's existing lung problems contributed to her collapse, making the situation appear as a direct result of negligence on Rachael's part. To add to the already complicated situation, Rachael and her husband were notably absent from Geraldine's funeral. This absence was due to prior work commitments, but it did not sit well with some family members. Rachael's cousin Gina, in particular, was vocally critical of her for not attending the funeral, labeling the absence as inexcusable and reflective of a lack of caring. This family feud was not just a private matter anymore, and it spilled into the public view with tabloids and media outlets picking up the story, casting Rachael in a controversial light. Rachael's brother defended her, stating that other family members were not upset with her decision to miss the funeral and understood her work obligations. However, the damage to Rachael's public image was significant, especially for someone whose whole public persona is based on familial warmth and reliability. Marital challenges. Rachael married John M. Cusimano on September 24, 2005, in a beautiful Tuscan castle in Montalcino, Italy. John, being a musician, actor, and lawyer, was an established personality himself and has often appeared alongside Rachael in several media appearances, including her TV shows and across her social media platforms, showcasing their life together to her vast audience. The couple's seemingly perfect union has been celebrated annually with a return to the Tuscan castle where they exchanged vows, surrounded by family and friends, including many notable celebrities. They even renewed their vows at this location in 2015. However, despite the public displays of unity and affection, their marriage has not been without its challenges, particularly concerning allegations of infidelity that have surfaced. Rumors of John's infidelity first gained media attention with claims that he had an affair with a woman from Florida whom he allegedly met in New York in the year 2000. Reports suggested that this affair was not just a fleeting moment but lasted for several years, involving financial transactions and even drug use. These allegations escalated with further accusations that John may have been involved with up to 6 other women. Despite the lack of solid evidence to support these claims, such rumors have not died down and have only complicated their marriage, placing Rachael in an uncomfortable public spotlight. Rachael Ray, however, has constantly defended her husband throughout these tumultuous times. In a 2007 interview with People magazine, she addressed these rumors head-on. Rachael revealed that she knows of her husband's activities and his whereabouts all the time, and that has been the case ever since they married. She emphasized the strength of their communication, noting that they have spoken every day since the night they first met. However, the situation further intensified in 2013 when allegations surfaced that Cusimano was a regular at a New York City swingers club called Checkers. The couple's publicist officially denied these allegations and dismissed the report as another pack of lies by the National Enquirer. Rachael's various business ventures and related legal struggles. In July 2008, Rachael embarked on another venture that was close to her heart, merging her love for animals and her entrepreneurial skills. She launched Nutrish, a brand of pet food inspired by the recipe she created for her beloved pit bull, Isabu. The mission was to provide good, healthy food for pets, and all proceeds from Nutrish sales were directed to Rachael's Rescue, the charity founded by Rachael herself to help at-risk animals, showing her commitment to animal welfare. But this noble journey was not without its bumps. As a celebrity endorsing a product, Rachael faced intense scrutiny and was often held accountable for every aspect of the product, despite not being involved in the day-to-day operations or manufacturing. The pet food line came under legal fire when controversies regarding its ingredients surfaced. In 2018, a $5 million lawsuit was filed against Nutrish, claiming that the so-called natural dog food contained the herbicide glyphosate, which contradicted the brand's natural and healthy image. The lawsuit claimed this was false advertising, sparking a wave of public outrage directed largely at Rachael Ray herself. The case was initially dismissed in 2019 due to a lack of specificity, but the damage to Rachael's brand was already done, and she bore the brunt of media criticism. But the legal woes for Nutrish and Rachael did not just end there. In 2020, another lawsuit surfaced, further tarnishing the brand's reputation. The lawsuit alleged that tests revealed dog DNA to be present in the food and that it contained more than 6 ingredients contrary to what was advertised. This legal case was also eventually dismissed, but each battle just invited more public scrutiny on Nutrish, questioning the integrity of the brand and, by extension, Rachael herself. Even through all these trying cases, Rachael Ray's passion for animal welfare never wavered, and she kept using her platform consistently to motivate people to provide better care for animals. The two sides of the culinary world. Even though Rachael has received praise and love from millions of her fans around the world, she has also faced her fair share of challenges from peers within the culinary community. Rachael's whole philosophy on food is based on speed and simplicity so that cooking can be made easy and accessible for everyone. But this approach has drawn criticism from some purists who argue that her style undermines traditional cooking methods. Even prominent figures such as Martha Stewart have openly criticized Rachael. During an interview in 2009 with ABC, Martha pointed out that Rachael herself has admitted that she can't bake. Martha also did not hide her dislike for Rachael's cookbook released at the time. Despite such critiques, one cannot deny the impact that Rachael's style has had over a vast number of people who appreciate her easily followable style. It just proves that she provided exactly what countless busy households needed. The criticism Rachael faces goes beyond professional circles, as there are websites dedicated to belittling her. One such example is, I Hate Rachael Ray, which was later renamed, Rachael Ray Sucks. Rachael is aware of such campaigns against her and has been steadfast in her stance against such baseless criticism. This was particularly evident during the controversy surrounding her friend Mario Bartoli, who faced severe accusations of sexual misconduct. Rachael stood by Bartoli, emphasizing empathy and pointing out the harsh realities of the culinary industry. In a 2019 interview, she mentioned that she still communicated with Bartoli and believed that the focus on him was somewhat unfair. Her position drew mixed reactions, with some appreciating her loyalty and others questioning her stance given the serious nature of the accusations. It speaks to her character that she is able to win over some of her harshest critics to her side. Emeril Lagasse did not initially appreciate Rachael's approach to the culinary arts but later became a frequent guest on her show. Rachael Ray has authored over 20 cookbooks and presented countless recipes on her TV shows and in her magazines. Many of these recipes have become a staple in several households, but the originality of these recipes and her role in their creation has come under scrutiny, raising questions about their authenticity. In 2012, a revealing article by the New York Times titled, I Was a Cookbook Ghostwriter, brought to light that some well-known chefs, including Rachael, might not be the sole authors of their recipes. This news was a significant revelation because it hinted that the personal touch Rachael was known for might partially be the work of unsung contributors. Rachael addressed these claims on her show, confirming that while she indeed writes her cookbooks, she collaborates with a team that assists with organizing the content and adding finishing touches like the glossary. Support for Rachael came from fellow celebrity chef Bobby Flay, who defended her on the Today Show, asserting that he has seen Rachael actively working on her cookbooks between filming her TV shows. But even such support did not stop the critics and some fans from expressing their disappointment. Rachael's demeanor off-camera has only added to the stories and has been a hot topic of discussion. Audience members who attended live tapings of her shows have shared mixed reviews about their experiences. While some attendees praised the lively and engaging atmosphere, others felt that Rachael appeared disinterested and distant when the cameras were off. These challenges never stopped Rachael from continuing to evolve her career and adapt to new opportunities. Alongside her husband, Rachael Ray built a sanctuary for her family in serene upstate New York and filled it with memories, but this was not meant to last, as it suffered a devastating catastrophe in 2020. Their beloved home was consumed by a fierce chimney fire. This sudden event forced Rachael and John to evacuate swiftly as the fire rapidly spread and reduced her home to ashes. This loss was unspeakable, and Rachael found herself sifting through the rubble for her personal treasures and professional keepsakes, which had been consumed by the fire along with all the memories attached to them. Determined to reclaim her space and the sense of home she had lost, Rachael embarked on a journey to rebuild. She wanted to restore the home exactly as it had been, replicating the layout of the rooms and the arrangement of the furniture. Yet, lessons learned from the tragedy warranted changes in design to enhance safety, including the installation of a tin roof, which would prevent such disasters from recurring. In addition to reconstructing her upstate New York home, Rachael also purchased a house in Tuscany, Italy, in 2021. The Tuscany House project featured in the series, Rachael Ray's Italian Dream Home, available on Hulu, offered viewers a glimpse into Rachael's life changes and her creative processes outside the kitchen. Rachael faced yet another personal disaster in September 2021 during the ongoing global pandemic when Hurricane Ida hit New York City. Even though the hurricane lost a lot of its power when it hit the Big Apple, it still brought with it a tremendous amount of rainfall, which shattered records and caused widespread destruction across the metropolis. The storm led to substantial damage, resulting in losses of millions of dollars and numerous tragic fatalities. Among the affected was Rachael's own newly renovated apartment that she had meticulously curated and filled with personal touches and memories. The damage to her apartment was severe. The hurricane's fierce winds and heavy rains devastated the interior, ruining everything from high-end speakers embedded in the ceilings to the elegant fireplace, effectively leaving the place unrecognizable. Rachael described the aftermath as if the apartment had melted. But the challenges for her did not end with the storm's passing. As a remediation team was assessing the damage to begin repairs, they accidentally broke a water pipe. This caused further flooding, worsening the already dire situation and extending the damage to the entire building, sinking it down to ground level. Even after such catastrophic damage, Rachael did not give up. Instead, she managed to restore her apartment by the end of 2021, just in time for Christmas. She also took this opportunity to show off her festive decorations to her viewers on an episode of her show. Rachael's resilience and positive outlook in the face of the numerous challenges she has faced in her life are an inspiration to us all. Rachael Ray may be a media personality who lives her life out in the open, but there's certainly more to her story. This was a glimpse into her life, career, and the countless challenges she has faced, and regardless of whatever fate has thrown her way, she always found herself bouncing back stronger than ever. No wonder she's an inspiration to millions around the world. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more content.